you've rented that before. You start working every waking hour kind of thing. So, okay, moving on to the next vehicle. So you got the two vehicles there. The next vehicle I want to go with you guys is the business owner. To me, the business owner is the sweet gig. This is the best one out here. What is the benefit of being a business owner as opposed to being a self-employed person? Basically being a owner of, like, let's say, an S corporation as opposed to a sole proprietor. What's the benefit of being a business owner? Anybody? I'm going to say this. If I get sick, like tonight, you know, I have to go up to the hospital with my wife and stuff, with my kids that are still working, I'm going to get paid off of their efforts, even though I personally didn't work. Does that make sense? So the positive, I think, is that you have income that's not reliant on you, however you want to phrase that, but income that's not you. And I'm just going to put not you focused, okay? What I'm saying is if you built a farmer's office and you've got 15 guys there dialing and smiling, making phone calls, closing deals all day, whether you make a deal or not doesn't really matter at that point. Now the deal is, as a leader, you obviously have to do more than you expect your people to do, and otherwise they'll quit. But what I'm saying is, you know, you can be sick and things can happen, you can still get that income coming in. Also, as a business owner, what's another benefit?
You don't always have to be there at the office.
There you go. I'm going to say you have a little bit more time flexibility. However, I found that the people I've ever had that worked as like a secretary, kind of, for me, if I wasn't there, they tended to not be there mentally either sometimes. So maybe in theory that's good, but then I found a good guy to kind of inspect and to hold the line, and it worked out. But a negative thing about being the business owner. Anything negative? I'm going to throw out here the liability aspect of it. Now you can get insurance, which is what we do, which would make it hard for you to find a good insurance policy if you work here, but at the same time the liability. I mean, if you really screw up, that customer's coming to your house. Or they're calling you on your cell phone. They know your cell phone. They're emailing you. They're on. I'm sure you can relate to this. They will call you. They'll like, I heard that DJ lives around the corner. I'm talking to him. You know, they're upset about it. So they take it personal. The liability side of it. Okay? 3 in the morning, yeah, I've got that. Being that we did weddings, I used to get a lot of those calls. So, okay. And then the final vehicle you have here is the investor. And this is where we all want to get to. This is basically where your business, you're an employee, you're a business owner, you're self-employed, whatever. You have so much money that you can now invest in good opportunities without actually having to work. This is kind of like Eureka. I don't care if you're an employee or a self-employed person or a business owner, we want to get there. That's kind of the idea. Is everybody good on this? So what I want to talk to you about, a little bit about the farmer's opportunity and kind of how it relates to you guys, is farmers is going to put you in the self-employed category. So on your sheet there, if you want to make that a pro or a con, it's okay, but I just want you guys to write down what you feel to be pros and cons, so when you leave here tonight, you have a clear understanding about what this is and what it isn't. Self-employed. Basically, that's what you're going to be right away when you start. What is something negative you guys have heard or positive you've heard about selling insurance? Anybody? Dealer?
Negative would be cold calls.
Cold calls, okay. Now, totally being real with you. I'm a sick freak. I don't mind making cold calls because I worked at Target. I had a bad experience there. Target's a great company, I'm sure. But I worked there and I actually got told to not work at such a fast pace because I set an unrealistic expectation for the electronics department. And you get there early, they get mad at you. If you don't take your lunch break, you get yelled at because it's very regulated. So for me, I kind of like, to me, cold calling, if I had to switch, I'm okay with it. But if you don't like cold calling, 100% true, when you start off, you have to do some cold calling. But I'm going to call it warm calling because I don't think that cold calling really helps in this business. Like if you were to go through the phone book and be like, Joe, what's going on? My name's Caleb with Farmers. Are you in need of life insurance? Hang up. It's not going to work. But if you were to go through your network and if you have a reputation, you could call up your friends and say, hey, I'm selling car insurance now. Do you have a car insurance policy? You know, or I know you have a car insurance policy unless you're driving around illegally. Do you want to sit down and we can compare rates? And that's always the entry road for everybody. Because everybody has a car, everybody has to have insurance, it's required by law. And then once you get their car insurance, then everybody also has a life which they probably want to insure, and they also probably have property they want to insure, and then it opens the door. So as far as cold calling, I'm going to say warm calling This is my way to put a spin on it here. But I'm just saying, like, a little fire here. But basically, you don't want to cold call people randomly or it wouldn't work anyway. But then once you get a hold of like 10 or 15 of your friends, if you utilize your network, then at that point they know people and then it grows. So cold call, yes, you do have to call people out of the blue, true. As far as cold calling, like out of the phone book, not so much. Other pro or a con? Pro or a con? Anybody? Pro?
Probably get a discount on insurance.
Okay. Is that John? Do we get a discount on insurance?
Yeah, there's an agent discount.
Okay, John says we do. So we get a discount on insurance.
I'll throw one out there, residuals.
Residuals, okay. This is the big enchilada. I would encourage you to circle it, highlight it, freak out about it. Here's how this goes. Dude named Clay, you call me up, you sell me insurance. You say, hey man, you spoke at our opportunity meeting. I decided I'm going to hit you up and see if you really have car insurance. And if you don't have it, I'm going to sell it to you. So you sell it to me, you sell the deal, you and your wife are now on vacation or you're working, I don't care, you're done. You're having a good time. It's Christmas, it's New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, you know, chances are you're taking the day off, but you know, oh, Clay had a direct withdrawal out of his account today and he paid his insurance on time. Because it's direct withdrawal, it's direct deposit, it's direct, you know. So you get paid on the effort you did months ago, every month, because the way the insurance is set up. So it's residual and that always comes in, and it just keeps coming in. At the DJ business, once we grew it to a certain point, we were doing 3,500 weddings a year. So we didn't, as long as we took care of our customers,